democracy. For the second time in 24 hours, the President of the United States casting doubt on whether he will accept the results of the election.
Mr. President, are the election results only legitimate if you win?
So we have to be very careful with the ballots. The ballots, that's a whole big scam. We want to make sure the election is honest, and I'm not sure that it can be. I don't know that it can be with this whole situation. Unsolicited ballots. They're unsolicited, millions being sent to everybody.
All right, this fear-mongering comes after President Trump refused to commit to a peaceful transfer of power if he loses to Joe Biden. And his press secretary today, Kayleigh McEnany, did nothing to clarify these alarming comments.
Are the results legitimate only if the president wins?
The president will accept the results of a free and fair election. He will accept the will of the American people.
So for clarity, if he loses and it's free and fair, he will accept.
I've answered your question. He will accept the results of a free and fair election.
Free and fair, according to whom? Well, in this case, according to Donald J. Trump, who, if you actually look at his record, has already said the answer to the question. He has clearly said that the election is not free and fair if he is not the victor.
The only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Remember that.
It'll end up being a rigged election. The Democrats are trying to rig this election because it's the only way they're going to win.
Okay, so he's saying there's no way he can lose unless the election is rigged. So Kayleigh McEnany's point is farcical, right? If he'll accept the results of a free and fair election. He's already made that clear. He said he won't accept them unless he wins. But what will he do, if he loses? Well, let's go and check the tape.
Will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? And there has been rioting in Louisville. There's been rioting in many cities across this country, red and your so-called red and blue states. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and you'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation.
Are you suggesting that you might not accept the results of the election?
I have to say.
I mean, again, get rid of the ballots and you'll have a peaceful, there won't be a transfer, right? Again, if he wins, he accepts it. And to those out there, and I'm sure there are plenty of you who say, come on, don't take him literally on this. He's just stoking the flames. Well, if that's you, or if you are Republican Senator Mike Braun of Indiana, who today told Politico, quote, Trump stokes the fire sometimes. If you took it seriously, it would be alarming. And I don't think that's the case. Well, Senator Braun, just listen to Trump's supporters who are right now at his rally in Jacksonville, Florida. They are taking Trump seriously. Here are two. Arbor Sanchez just went, for the purposes of what we're laying out here, to ask them, what do they think? Here is what they told him.
Do you think that if we get to election night or in the following days, if Biden winds up somehow becoming the winner, do you think it's rigged?
Oh, yes. Very much so.
What are the chances, do you think, that this election might be rigged?
I'll tell you, with the mail-in ballots we don't like, I'll tell you, there's a lot of cheating that's been exposed, especially over the last 4 or 5 years. See, our president brought this to our attention. See, this stuff was going on that nobody really knew about, and it just happened and happened and happened.
Election night,
yes.
Days after, if it shows up that Joe Biden won,
yes.
In your opinion, would that be the only way that Trump could lose, that it'd be a rigged election? Is that the only way Joe Biden can win?
Absolutely. I agree with that. Because there's no way in heck our president's going to lose. But yes, it would be a rigged election. There was some type of cheating went on, what have you. And I firmly believe that.
I wanted to play that whole exchange because that last gentleman there says the president brought all of this to his attention. Yes, they take the president seriously. They believe him. They think if he loses, it's rigged. So I guess I just have to be clear again that there is no evidence now of fraud, of rigging, none. And by the way, I guess one of the best people to listen to on that might be President Trump's own FBI director, Chris Wray. He spoke about it today. Here's what he said.
Americans must have confidence in our voting system and our election infrastructure. And now we have not seen historically any kind of coordinated national voter fraud effort in a major election, whether it's by mail or otherwise.
And yet, Trump's ardent supporters listen to him. And yes, they take him seriously. So, yes, Senator Braun,